been talking to him for a while about pulling the trigger on getting snipped. And he was kind of like, oh, tell me when you want to do it, and we'll get you in and do it. And he goes, it's going to be in and out. It's like a 15-minute procedure. You know, he's in there with the lasers and the isotope arms and the robot scissors or whatever however they do this. And so his assistant called me, and I returned her call, and she goes, tell me when you want to come in. And it just so happened to land on Veterans Day, because I thought, listen, what better way to honor our nation's fighting men and women, right? My late father was a veteran. Gwen's grandparents were all veterans, you know. What better way to honor those people than by me taking steps to make sure that I can no longer procreate? I can think of no greater gift to this country than to make sure that I don't have any more children. What?
I say the planet as a whole, not just this country.
Well, yeah, I mean, but, you know, our veterans here. And, of course, I asked his assistant, I said, is it going to be a problem that I have, well, my super sperm, you know, I'm famous for my super sperm, Bill. Is that going to... Super sperm. I said, is that going to cause any problems? And there was a long silence, and she said no. But she was nice enough. I thought this was very sweet. She asked if I wanted her to set up an alternate way for me to get in case I didn't want people seeing me.
Oh,
and
I go, celebrity entrance.
That's very nice. But I laughed. I said, no, that's not. I'll be talking about it on the show. I said, it's not, you know, So November the 11th, which, by the way, I thought Veterans Day was a company holiday here at iHeartMedia. It is not. So I'll be taking that day off. But
you're not going to do it live on air?
Well, you're gone. I'm not doing it live on the air. Because no.
That could have been the best episode of Visit Red ever.
I have you down for Mary's Gone November 11th.
I don't know what my schedule is.
You don't ask any follow-up questions. Tell you what, come to me and I'll tell you when you're not here.
Can you send me my schedule, please?
Yeah, I'll send it to you. I got it.
Thanks, brother.
Friday, November 11th. Mary out.
That's that weekend after the North Dakota gig, so I'm in Minneapolis after that.
So, November 11th.
So wait a
I think it'll be, what?
You're going to North Dakota 1 week.
No. North Dakota on a Wednesday.
Okay.
So that Friday.
Okay.
2 days later.
I was going to say, I'm like, you're not going, like, I thought it was like
no,
1
I'm not
week.
going to North Dakota on the 4th
yeah.
and then Minneapolis on the 11th. Yeah. I'm not that much of a glutton for punishment. I had my fill of travel.
So on November the 11th, and then, you know, he was, we were talking off the air after Is It Red last time, too, about kind of what the whole process is. And he has mentioned on the air before that a lot of guys will schedule their snip around March Madness. That's a very busy time for him as a surgical urologist, because a lot of guys just want to sit home after they get snipped, sit on a bag of frozen peas and watch the games. I'm not worried about that.
Well, you need more than 3 days?
No. I mean, some people say, he says maybe as just out of abundance of caution. What did that sign in the restaurant say? Under abundance of caution or whatever?
Yeah.
Out of abundance of caution. He goes, sometimes it takes people, he goes, most guys, they do it on Friday, they're back to work on Monday. They're fine. And the procedure itself, as I understand it, it's like a 15-minute thing.
It's just painful after.
I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you got to go in to get checked every so often to make sure that you got no swimmers. Because the last thing you want is to get snipped and then think you're cool.
And
of course, I will be overly cautious, right? I'm a married man who still uses condoms. So I will be overly cautious as I'm going in and having my samples checked.
You come into the show like a virgin where you're like, guys, I had sex without a condom last night.
Well, it's not that I've never had sex.
Awesome.
It's not that I've never had sex without a condom before.
It's not often.
It's extraordinarily rare.
Right.
That's right.
You're going to come in all hopped up playing Lonely Island.
Do you guys,
I just had sex.
Are you guys aware of how good it feels without condoms?
Has anyone heard of this?
Oh, my God. I believe it's called raw dogging. I'm all for it. So, November the 11th, I'm proud to announce that that's when I'll be getting snipped.
Should I put that in my calendar?
Please do. Well, you'll be gone. You won't be here, so you won't be able to. But I'll come back. So I'll be back on of course, I'll be back on the 14th to regale everyone with tales of my snip. The 14th will be my friend Harlan Williams' birthday, and I'll get him on the phone, and I'll consult with him first, and then I'll tell the rest of you.
Can people, watch the procedure being done to them?
I have no idea. I was able to watch when I had my colonoscopy, but you can't really tell what anything is. It's a tiny, tiny camera in your colon. So I'm looking up there because I thought they were going to knock me out, but they kind of twilight you. So you don't even really realize. You think that you're pretty lucid, and then afterwards you're like, oh, I was pretty out of it. So I watched that whole thing because I'm on my side and I could see up on the monitor. They're like, you can watch if you want. You're not really going to tell what anything is. And so I kind of watched that whole thing. And so I doubt that I have I don't know if I have the option of doing that. I don't really even care. All she told me was that I had to make sure that I was fully shaved. And I said, oh, that won't be a problem. Don't you worry.
Brazilian.
I am fully shaved right now, my dear. Don't you sweat that.
She's like, I didn't need to know that.
Well, I like to, for a medical procedure, I want to give them all of the information they might possibly need.
Starts unbuttoning it like this. Is this good?
Is this okay?
I don't think I've ever been completely shaved on purpose.
Underneath?
Everything gone? No, I leave a little something.
Underneath or up top?
Both.
Oh, you got to go hard-boiled eggs down there, son. What are you talking? You leave a little bit of stubble?
Yeah, I don't.
Why? Either let it go full Amazon or take it all off.
Well, I guess down
He
below.
likes it Brett Favre.
Undercarriage.
As creepy as possible.
Undercarriage, I can understand going completely.
Well, that's what I'm talking about.
I know, but I'm just saying as far as pubes in general, you gotta leave a little something.
Do you?
Yeah.
I mean, if you're talking about
a man having having it completely shaved, unless you work in the adult entertainment business, why is it completely gone?
It's just comfortable. It's more comfortable. Why would you not, especially if you're a single dude, you're trying to get people to come into the store. You got to make the sign look nice. I mean, it's not 1978 anymore.
I'm not saying have a full bush, but I'm saying you gotta leave.
Well, again, we're talking up top versus underneath.
Okay.
Up top, yeah, you don't want to look like a Ken doll. Sure. Absolutely. You want to have, you want something that designates you.
Use your trimmer for that.
As a male.
Right?
That's correct. Underneath.
Razor.
Straight razor.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I made it very clear that would not be an issue. I said, in fact, I'm going to make sure you'll be able to see yourself in it.
Ooh, glossy.
See, what I do is my first grader has been really into crafts lately. Mm-hmm. So I've been at Michael's buying a lot of epoxy. And so what I'm going to do is prior to the procedure, I might epoxy them so that they'll just be...
That's another layer for them to get through, though.
Well, they are professionals. What am I worried about?
Stuff, sure.
Hey, Woody.
Ellen.
How did I know Woody would be calling in while I was talking about getting snipped?
I don't know. I guess we're simpatico.
You've been snipped, I assume, Woody?
Yes, sir. I got snipped when I was 42 years of age.
Woody's out there. He's just spraying it all over, man. He cares not. He is. He got snipped and he's 42. He's like 43 right now. It's been the greatest year of his life.
Yeah, add a decade, but yeah, you're close.
All right, so what's up?
But yeah, I mean, I went through it. It was, I was super nervous about it because, I didn't have a lot of information, and I talked to a couple older guys that I knew from the bar scene.
From the bar. Hey, Frank, how did your vasectomy go? It was great. I forget I got it sometimes. No, Dr. Ryan Berglund's an ace. I don't even have an iota of concern or anxiety about it.
Yeah, and it's the odds of it not taking are just a 1 in a million.
Yeah, they're infinitesimal. It does happen. Listen, I might be one of the lucky ones where, that whole thing happens. But fortunately, if that's what happens, I've got a lifetime of wearing condoms. I'll just go back to that. But
we went through super sperm. They might, is it a vas deferens? I don't know what it
Vas
is, but
deferens is what they're going to do in there. That's right. Super sperm. It's going to make a vas deferens from one day to the next, Woody.
Yeah, but it wasn't that horrible, man. I mean, I think I did it on I scheduled it on a Friday morning and took the day off from work and went in, and they gave me a couple Valium take the night before and the morning of, so I wouldn't be so nervous. And they walked in and explained the whole situation to me and my ex, and he gave me a shot of a local anesthetic with a syringe, and I watched him do the whole thing.
And Woody's a roofer. He does a lot of crouching, and so it could have. He was concerned about the level of discomfort they would have after the procedure, I'm sure.
Yeah. I mean, it was uncomfortable. I had a couple cocktails during the weekend, and I sat on the frozen peas like they told me, but I was back to work Monday.
It's fine. I'm not.
It kind of felt like you got kicked in the nuts or something, but it was a couple.
And that happens to me metaphorically every day, so I'll just transfer it over to the actual practical
compartmentalizing.
It'll be fine.
Yeah, the weirdest thing was watching him make the incision into the scrotum. That was kind of difficult for me to watch.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I don't know that I'll watch it. But okay.
Can we get a video of it? And
do you have any?
We'll do that for Mary Reacts.
Mary Acts?
Mary Reacts.
All right, today we're going to have Mary's going to watch my vasectomy video.
Here it goes.
Hey, threw it on YouTube.
Pop like that toe yesterday. Pus coming out. Like,
That's not pus. That's super sperm.
That's right. That's a whole other situation you got to worry about. Thank you, Woody. Super sperm. All right. Alan, please, and please again, tell Mary.
No. What do they want?
Alan, my wife is a podiatrist. Please tell Mary to not get her foot scanned. They are horrible, those scanners. If you have foot problems, go to a podiatrist. You will save money and your feet will feel better.
I've never been to a podiatrist, but I also don't have foot problems. That's why I was like, this machine's broken. You know what you're talking about. Because if I was wearing shoes that were a whole size too small, I think I would notice.
You made it sound like it was a half size, which is negligible enough where you might not notice it.
I wear a 6.5. He said my left foot is a 7 and my right foot is a 7.5.
Yeah.
Which would mean that for my right foot, my shoes were a whole size too small, and that is just not accurate.
From a 7 to a 7.5 is a whole size?
I wear a 6.5.
You wear a 6.5.
And he was saying your right foot is a 7.5, which is just, there's no way that's true.
So he was measuring your foot with the latest in modern technology, and you told him...
The latest in modern technology that a store has.
Yes.
Okay, but what...
Well, and this lady's saying, hey, those things are wildly inaccurate.
But it's
the
not...
Podiatrist
I understand. That's why he's saying that, but it's still... It's not steampunk.
Do you want to touch my toe? You said the Alan Cox toe test through the shoe?
No, I'm not a subscriber.
No, through the shoe. You said that's how you measure if your shoes are...
That's how I measure if my shoes fit. Well, anyway, I'm passing that along.
Yeah. I didn't believe him for 1 second. I was like, you're wrong.
Okay.
Screw this technology.
I thought it was also partially just kind of a low-key flex that he was married to a podiatrist.
Maybe.
Nevertheless.
That's where the real money in feet is. I think you make a lot selling, right? Yeah, I think you make a lot selling feet pictures.
What's the difference between a podiatrist and a podiatrist and a chiropodist? You ever hear of a chiropodist?
No. That sounds made up.
Maybe it's an old-timey phrase. A chiropodist, a person who treats the feet and their ailments. A podiatrist.
It's just an old word.
You think? Maybe it's a British thing. What's the difference between a chiropodist and a podiatrist? There's no difference, but podiatrist is a more modern name.
There you go.
Well, then I'm going to use chiropodist.
You're annoying.
I like those. Here's another question. Why do we say doctor instead of medician?
Oh, boy.
Why didn't medician, right? Because what do you call a person who does magic?
Okay, but magicians and doctors are not the same.
An illusionist,
I'm not
Michael.
saying that. This is a word problem, not a vocational problem. What do you call a person who does magic?
Sure.
A magician.
Sure.
Right? Using that same theory for the formation of the word, why isn't where did doctor come from instead of let's visit my medician?
Are you going to say that for your pharmacist?
Pharmacist. Why not? Why aren't they pharmacians?
Pharmician.
I don't. Well, I mean, we've gone completely off the rails. There's doctor, magician, in many ways.
I don't understand
similar.
why you're connecting those two.
Because you don't call a magician. There isn't a completely different word for them.
But magic has nothing to do with.
It doesn't have to do with that. This
medical.
is about the titles.
Words.
The
It's about the
titles.
words.
I understand, but why'd you pick that one?
Why not?
Because he could be a medist.
It's the only one
if
that makes
you're
the
gonna
joke
go by
work.
Oh.
Or not.
And it's the only one that made that joke work.
Work, Mary.
That's how
it's the
that
only one that
joke
made that
works.
joke work. No, I'm serious. Why not magician? I like that.
Start calling him that.
I'm going to visit my magician. People are going to go, I'm sorry, did you say magician? I'll go, why do you keep putting those together? I'll pull a Mary on him.
What did I do?
Did you say magician? No, magician.
Musician.
You call them doctors. I call them magicians. When you're in the field, you're a medic. You're not a doctor. You're a combat medic. Medic. If you're performing magic, it's magic. You're a magician. Why not a magician? The stuff they give you is called medicine. It's not called Dr. Juice.
You can call it Dr. Juice, though.
Hey, magician, you got any more of that Dr. Juice? Really blow their minds. Yeah, no?
I mean,
You don't recommend that I do that?
I say do whatever makes you happy.
At the
man.
very least, I'm
if
starting.
it makes you happy.
At the
Whatever's
very
in your
least,
heart.
yeah, that's right. At the
If it
very
makes you
least, I'm starting with chiropodist.
There you go.
Okay, I've got a break here. If you want to text for anything, 35192, AlanCoxShow.com. You want to watch, and you can listen wherever. I think if they put it on today on the iHeartRadio app.
The Alan Cox Show.